Hi everyone, welcome to TechCravers and another handheld video. This time it's the ABXYLUTE One Pro. It's been making some noise lately as an Android and streaming all-rounder, running the MediaTek Gene Neo 510 and rocking some futuristic capacitive digital sticks. I've been really curious to see how those actually feel in real gaming. So today we're going to test that out, from the unboxing to hands-on impressions, specs, and of course real gameplay, including Android titles, emulation, and streaming from Steam Link and PS5 Remote Play. Could this be the budget-friendly all-rounder we've all been waiting for? Well, without any further ado, let's check it out. Alright, let's get through this quickly. Inside the box you get the ABXYLUTE One Pro itself, a USB-C cable, and this manual. That's literally it. No case, no screen protector, nothing fancy. But honestly, I kind of like that. It's clean, minimal, and it gets you straight to the good part right away, the actual handheld. The packaging is compact and tidy, everything sits nicely in place, and the first impression when you lift the device out of the box is that it's really solid. You instantly notice how light it is and that transparent shell catching the light. So yeah, short and sweet, let's move on and see how this thing actually feels in the hands. Just browsing around the system, it feels really good in the hand. At about 430 grams, it's right in that sweet spot, light enough to be comfortable but still solid enough to feel well built. You can easily play for a couple of hours without any wrist strain or that cheap plastic feel some handhelds have. Now, compared to the original ABXYLUTE One, the difference isn't huge. This isn't a complete redesign, the shape and general layout are basically the same, but there are a few minor, well-chosen tweaks that make it nicer to hold. The textured grips on the back are a bit more pronounced, giving a touch more control without changing the overall form factor. The buttons feel slightly firmer and the triggers have a bit more definition, and the whole shell feels a little more premium, like they just refined what was already there instead of reinventing it. The new capacitive digital sticks are the most noticeable upgrade. They are smooth, quick, and without zero wobble, which adds to that modern high-tech feel. So yeah, ergonomically it's only slightly better, but in all the right places. The One Pro feels more mature and polished, even if it's not a night and day leap from the first model. But now let's lay it flat on the desk and go through what's inside. The ABXYLUTE One Pro runs on the MediaTek Gene Neo 510, a 6-core chip built on a 6nm processor clocked up to 2 GHz with Mali G57 graphics. You get 4 GB of LPDDR4 RAM and 64 GB of internal storage, plus a microSD card slot that supports cards up to 2 TB. The display is a 7-inch 1080p IPS touchscreen running at 60 Hz with around 500 nits of brightness and full sRGB coverage. Bright, colorful and sharp indoors, though it does struggle a bit in direct sunlight. Around the edges you got a USB-C with display out, a 3.5mm headphone jack, dual front-facing speakers, Hall effect triggers and a 5200 mAh battery that lasts roughly 6 to 8 hours depending on what you're doing. Everything runs on Android 13, fully Google certified, so the Play Store is right there from the start, no sideloading or tinkering needed. Now, to keep it real, the Gene Neo 510 chip isn't a powerhouse, it's fine for Android gaming and mid-range emulation, and with some tweaking you can get certain GameCube or PS2 titles running, but it's definitely not a high-end performer. It's a big step up from the first ABXYLUTE One, which topped out at around the N64 level of emulation, but if heavy emulation is your main goal, there are faster handhelds out there using Snapdragon chips that will give much better results. And speaking of performance, let's jump into some real gameplay tests, starting with a few Android games, then moving over to emulation and finally wrapping things up with game streaming through Steam Link and PS5 Remote Play.
I need more time. I am not ready yet.
So wrapping things up, the ABXYLUTE One Pro isn't here to compete with high-end monsters like ROG Ally or the Snapdragon-powered handhelds, and that's okay. What it does deliver is a really smooth, non-nonsense experience for anyone who just want to stream their games, play some Android titles, and do a bit of emulation, all without having to tinker too much. The build feels solid and the screen looks great, and those capacitive sticks gives it a nice modern edge. Performance-wise, the MediaTek chip isn't a powerhouse, but it's noticeably better than the previous model and handled most tasks just fine. Price-wise, it comes in at around $259, which might feel a little on the steep side considering what's out there, but the ABXYLUTE are launching a Black Friday campaign soon, so it might be worth keeping an eye on the price then. Overall, the One Pro is a pretty solid all-rounder, refined, easy to use, and perfect for anyone who wants something that just works right out of the box. Alright, that's it for this one. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.